a couple poems about the fire department and then a couple songs about it too. Rusted black vines. These rusted vines, repainted black, cling to brick walls as old as the city. They are beach chairs and lush backyard gardens, wildlife preserves, imitations of trees, and even escapes from husbands and fires, these rusted black vines in the city. Here's one, this one's a little heavy. It's called I'm No Hero. I'm no hero. I'm just a guy complaining about the heat and how sticky I am after bellying around under a subway train to help scoop and carry the destroyed body of some poor soul who will never walk again and who probably won't live through the night. How can I share this humid heat with that and still be so focused on my own discomfort? And then, following that up with a little haiku called PTSD. Anyways, forgive me for getting heavy here. There's memory shattered through my mind of the awful things I saw. All right, there we go. Got that one off my chest. All right, so whenever I was, leaving work, I worked in the West Village in Manhattan. It's where all the folk singers used to perform and stuff back in the day and everything. And then for the last 14 years of my career, I lived in Long Island, which is, if you don't know how New York's laid out, it's just basically you go through Queens, you keep going, and then you're in Long Island. So I used to ride on this highway called the Long Island Expressway, the LIE, all the time, and this is a song about that. Down the black river of floating debris, stuck in the current of the LIE, looking toward home restlessly. That's where my children are and my baby and my dog. When I get home he'll be leaping like a frog. That's my dog. Man, he loves me. I know that when I walk in through the door, both of my kids will be on me before I can even put my bags down on the floor. These are moments that I adore, my family. Every day they put their life into me. That's my family. I couldn't love them more. My baby's backside has a magical sweep that gets into my mind. It gets in deep, and when our children are finally asleep, then into my arms my baby will leap. She's my baby. I'm as lucky as I deserve to be. She loves me and says I'm hers to keep. Driving home again, this is how I unwind, with my beautiful family soothing my mind. They soften my heart and make me feel kind. This is how my life should be defined, by my family. I love them and they love me. That's my family. Their love is on my mind. Family love. So anyways, this next one, this is where I get a little heavy for a second, but it's, back when, when I was still a fireman, the best days to work for me were Halloween and the Gay Pride Parade, because both those parades went right down through the West Village where my firehouse was, and man, it was fun because it was just, joy and it was like a carnival, it was crazy, but anyway, this one Halloween, 2017, it's an awful story, but we got this a call, and it was a pickup truck had crashed into a school bus, and thank God nobody on the school bus was hurt, but it was full of kids and everything. The guy did it on purpose because he was a kind of like one of these lone wolf terrorists. He had rented a pickup truck at the Home Depot, and what happened was, they got all these 911 calls from crashing into the school bus, but nobody knew that he had also driven up on this bike path along the West Side Highway on the west side of Manhattan, and he ran over like 20 people and killed 8 and hurt a bunch more. But anyways, sorry, we were driving down the West Side Highway, and we kind of saw out the window that there was all these people laid out. Nobody had called 911 because everybody was in the middle of panicking and everything else. So we stopped and we got out, and it was just the one group of us and the limited medical supplies that we had, and it was just an absolutely awful thing because as soon as we got there, there's just people everywhere, with missing limbs and things like that. I mean, it was horrific, and anyway, so I won't get into too much detail. I mean, the guy that I was working on for most of the time, and it took a long time before we got any help because nobody, we kept trying to raise people on the radio, but they were all running down because, I mean, a pickup truck into a full school bus is a pretty major thing that they were weren't too concerned about anybody trying to scream at them on the radio as they were driving by, But anyways, so anyway, the guy that I was working on, he was alive and conscious when I started with him, but he was, not when I was done, So it's heavy. I mean, and that kind of stuff happened a lot. I mean, that's a pretty dramatic example because there were so many victims, and we had to leave victims aside to work on other ones because there's just too many victims and not enough of us to try to help, And anyway, so sorry about that. Sorry. So when I got home, that then that happened, and then I had to work for the next 16 or 18 hours after that, with my head all fucked up and everything. And then I got home, and I sat down, and somehow or other I wound up writing what I think is a pretty beautiful song. It was back in my early days of trying to even write songs, but anyway, this is it. It's called "Let Life." Sometimes there is sorrow, and sometimes there is pain. I wouldn't mind tomorrow if it rains, as long as the grass is growing and the birds are in the trees. Let life keep on flowing like a breeze. Some things seem so senseless, sometimes we wonder why. We're feeling so defenseless and we cry. As long as the grass is growing and the birds are in the trees, let life keep on flowing like a breeze. Sometimes you wouldn't bet it, but there's beauty that you'll find when you open up and let it in your mind. As long as the grass is growing and the birds are in the trees, let life keep on flowing like a breeze. long as the grass is growing and the birds are